is the global news on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Rivers State Police arrest student over alleged murder. President Tinubu reacts to Supreme Court judgments. Senate confirms Aliyu as ICPC chairman. Naira appreciates against dollar. Sudan paramilitary resume peace talks. Rayma orders drops new projects October 27. Super Eagles retain 40th position in FIFA ranking. arrested a man identified as Collins for allegedly killing his girlfriend, Otuene Justina Nkang. Nkang, a 300-level biochemistry female student of the University of Port Harcourt who had earlier been reported missing, was found mutilated at the suspected residence situated on Road 15, NTA Road, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, CP Moyi Polika Bemeka, briefing journalists on Thursday, said on Wednesday, 25th October 2023, operatives of Ozoba Division received a complaint from a Good Samaritan and neighbor named withheld of Road 20 back of NTA Ozoba. On arrival, the door was forcefully opened and the animals go back containing a lifeless body was recovered. The lifeless and butchered body of Justina Otuene, 28-year-old, a biochemistry 300-level student at Unicourse, was recovered and deposited at the mortuary. The CP said preliminary investigation is in progress, adding that the case has been transferred to the state CID for discreet investigation. Meanwhile, the command has condoled with the family of the deceased victim while urging young ladies to be cautious and careful about persons they involve with in any form of relationship. CP Woyi Polika Bemeka said curbing crime in the society is a collective job. He called on residents of the state to be open and supportive to security operatives in fighting crime and criminality. Tricycle operators plying the Obirikere, SARS, Alu, NTA and New Airport Road have expressed their grievances about continuous increase in multiple taxation, park marginalization and illegal ticketing by the union authorities. Some of the drivers plying along the Obirikere and SARS routes embarked on a peaceful protest said that the union authorities compels them to multiple purchase of tickets, including Saturdays and Sundays, public holidays, which were supposed to be ticket-free days. Speaking to our correspondent Tibedov, the leader of the protest, who simply introduced himself as Mr. John, alleged the chairman of the unit, properly known as Papido, works with the Rumokoro Police Division to impound their tricycle for failing to comply with the tickets levy. Here is a report. He further said that the exorbitant exploitation leaves them vulnerable and unable to meet up with their daily turn-up. Nigerian Union of Journalists and All Progressive Congress in Bayelsa State were thrown into mourning with the loss of the media personnel and Director Media and Publicity APC campaign, Barry Toby Tukaway Jr. in a boat mishap. According to eyewitnesses, Tukaway Jr. and some other journalists were on their way for the campaign tour of the APC governorship candidate Koroma Tareke in Nembe local government area of the state when the boat conveying them capsized. Some occupants of the boat include Juri Avwasura of the Arise Television, Solomon Onowoma of Reading FM, and some medical personnel whom divers rescued but then lost all their valuables, while others, including the boat driver, were immediately rescued. Tukaway Jr. was declared missing as of Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the Bayelsa State APC Governorship Campaign Council has suspended campaigns built to be held on Thursday at Nembe Ogolomabiri and Nembe Lasambiri. The state chairman of the APC, Barrister Dennis Otiotio, in a statement confirmed that the suspension of the campaign was due to the unfortunate incident. We pray that the soul of it, Barry Tukaway Jr. will rest in peace. Ahmed Raji has written to the Independent National Electoral Commission demanding immediate withdrawal of the amended list of candidates released for the poll. Raji, who is counsel to Chief Ray Silva, the All Progressives Congress candidate in the November 11 Bayelsa election, described the decision of the electoral umpire as prejudicial. INEC had earlier released amended list of candidates vying in the election without including Silva's name. Justice Donatuso Okorowo of the Federal High Court in Abuja had, on October 9, in a judgment, disqualified Silva, a former governor of the state, from contesting the election. Reacting to development and aid in open conversation, socio-political analyst, community leader, Chief Loveday Okere cautioned counsel to Timothy Silva, Ahmed Raji, against seeking to heat up the polity.
First and foremost, I want to say I will not let the lawyer, because he's doing his job as a counsel to me principal, His Excellency. In the same vein, I will also want to plead with the lawyer that in as much as he's doing his work as a lawyer, he should also not avoid to do anything that will undermine the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. He shouldn't. And he should also know that as a lawyer, he is doing his professional job to interpret the law and also defend. That was why I said I didn't blame him, because he's defending his client. Yeah. But no matter whatever or however he feels, he shouldn't do anything that would portray him as a lawyer that tried to abuse the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. I say this because the letter he has written is a big joke and very inconsequential to anything that has to do with the publication of INEC. INEC has just complied with the ruling of the court. INEC has just complied with the law and the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria in compliance with a valid judgment coming from a court of competent jurisdiction that has nullified the candidature of Timi Pre-Siba.
Chief Okere further criticized the All Progressive Congress for jeopardizing its chances in the Bayelsa gubernatorial election on November 11.
APC, both in Bayelsa State and in Nigeria, are just gambling. Because they are risking the chances of APC being in the ballot in 2023 election in Bayelsa State. The reason being that no matter how bad a judgment of court is, until it is quashed, that judgment subsists. So, and that is why INEC is very correct in whatever thing they have done now, until the Court of Appeal said otherwise, and maybe a Supreme Court. And the period is very short. And if everything remains the way it is, they have given a smooth ride to other candidates in Bayelsa State against that of APC. So for me, even though I'm not a lawyer, even though I'm not a judge, it is very simple. This man has been in office for almost 6 years, 5 years plus, as a governor. You took oath of office and your election was nullified. You went into another election, runoff, and you won election again. And you spent another 4 years in office. And the constitution was amended to say that you cannot take oath of office twice. Meaning that if you are elected again, you are going to be in office for like 9 years plus. Yes. And that is what the court have ruled.
Police in Sapele have arrested a 26-year-old man, Destiny Oganovo, for allegedly murdering his girlfriend Jennifer Aaron in Sapele local government area of Delta State. Destiny was picked up a few days ago at his residence in NDDC Road area in Amukwe, Sapele by police detectives from Sapele Division after Jennifer Aaron's relatives reported her missing. A relative of the deceased, Ugomu, told newsmen that Jennifer, who had a 2-year-old child with Destiny, parted ways with him about 4 months ago after their relationship turned sour. The police spokesman for Delta State Command DSP Daffy Bright, though, could not be reached to confirm the story, but the police have said that Destiny is in police cell in Sapele, but he will soon be taken to Asaba. He added that the cause of Jennifer's death is still unclear, as autopsy is yet to be conducted to ascertain if she was murdered. Akwa State Internal Revenue Service has shut down 3 banks for their alleged failure to remit outstanding tax liabilities of 228.6 million naira to the state government. The banks were shut down on Thursday during an exercise conducted by the Board Enforcement and Recovery Department following an order of notice of distraint from the Akwa State High Court, Eket Judicial Division. The affected banks include 2 Keystone Bank branches at Abak Road and Ikotekwene Road, Uyo, and Heritage Bank located at Aka Road, Uyo. While speaking to newsmen, the board's Executive Director of Enforcement and Recovery, Mr. Leo Omana, said Heritage Bank failed to remit its over 100 million tax liabilities to the state, while Keystone Bank tax liability run into over 128 million naira. He said the board had given notices and exhausted reconciliation and negotiation opportunities with the organizations, hence the action. Omana added that since the banks refused to remit taxes accruing to the state despite the long period of time given them, the board is left with no option but to get expert order to recover the revenue. He said in the ongoing enforcement drive, the Revenue Board is poised to recover state government revenue, thus helping the government realize its RISE agenda. Candidates of the PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, ABC Hope Uzodinma, and the Labour Party candidate, Senator Arthur Neji Achono, were absent at the political debate held for the 17th governorship candidates in Imo State. The event, which took place at the NUG Press Center in Owerri, intended to serve as a platform for the presentation of candidate manifesto for the upcoming November governorship election in Imo State by YPP and ADC candidates. But the YPP and the ADC candidates were present. The Director General of the JEDA, Professor Mrs. Ada Mere, in her opening remarks, said the two gubernatorial candidates present at the debate are highly competent and qualified individuals, generally seeking election as governor in the November 11th Imo gubernatorial polls. On his part, the YPP candidate High Chief Dr. Kennedy Chino Opara passionately expressed his commitment to serve the people of Imo State as their next governor. He voiced his concerns about the current state of insecurity in Imo State under the present shared prosperity government, emphasizing the need for change. Reacting to the development on the ATM conversation, socio-political analyst Chief Love Bay Okere said debate and manifesto presentations pre-election had no bearing in determining the outcome of an election in Nigeria.
When you look at the history in Nigeria politics, you will understand with me that outcome of debates are very inconsequential to outcome of or that will determine the outcome of every election in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an ideal state. If it is in an ideal state, if it is a sinner land, just like America, Europe, you will now understand that your stance in debates gives you may give you an edge over other candidates. And that is why candidates of various political parties in Nigeria undermines the importance of debate. Okay, you are debating on television, maybe expecting the audience to hear you. That is the essence of debate.
Yes.
That's the essence of appearing in television, in the media, is that you are speaking to audience who will comprehend whatever you are saying and use it as a tool in taking their decision.
Yes.
But in Nigeria, the people those electors that will elect you are moving from one place to the other as agros in various motorparks, as people that are looking for how to make ends meet. The ones that at home do not have light to power their television or to even listen to radio. You can see the majority of the radio we have today is the one we have rechargeable, you know. And if you don't recharge those radio, how can you even tune in? If you don't have power, how can you even listen to tune on your television to listen to the person that is speaking? So 70% of those who will take decisions through whatever you are saying in debate are not hearing you. They are not even aware that you are there speaking. So it is only some of the added followers who know that they are going to appear on the television will now circle. Minute number, less than 20%. And at the end,
Chief Lovedale Okere further said the governorship debate was inconsequential to the outcome of the Imo State election because the parties who partook in the election were majorly unpopular compared to the absent bigwigs.
you can see that the YPP and the other one, we call it DPP or whatever political party, are political parties that I can describe as political parties that are not as popular as, I don't want to use the other word terminology to undermine them, where people will say mushroom political parties. No, a political party is a political party. But I want to say that they are not as popular as PDP, APC, and perhaps Labour Party in Imo State. And you can now see that those big political parties that has more followers in Imo State, we are absent. Because they know that whatever happened in that debate would not make any meaning to them winning election. They know, and they decided to stay and do more things that are very important. Maybe visiting people, consulting with other persons, gathering a cluster of people, giving us small chunks of small money, and maybe customize bagged
souvenirs,
quarter bagged rice to people.
Okay.
In some cases wrapper that has face of Uzodinma and other persons.
Yes.
So that is what they are doing. So coming to speak in a debate is even to waste their energy, because they know that less than 20% of the electors are listening, because there is no power to listen, there is no interest in the first place, or the people are engaged trying to look for what to eat, or even as the case of Imo State, where there is a reported high level of insecurity. People are hiding themselves, don't want to even on their generators so that people will not know that they are around to come and attack you where you are. So the debate, as far as I'm concerned, in the election is very inconsequential.
High Court in Enugu State has ordered the Southeast Governor to pay Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, 8 billion naira as compensation. Justice A.O. Onovo ruled that the sum was compensation for infringing on Kanu's fundamental human rights. The judge gave the order while passing judgment on Kanu's appeal against IPOB's prescription. Kanu, through his special counsel, Aloy Junako, had dragged the Southeast governors and the federal government before the Enugu State High Court over IPOB's prescription and violation of his fundamental rights in 2017. The presiding judge ordered the Southeast governors to apologize to Kanu and publish their apology in 3 national dailies. This was disclosed in a statement by Junako tagged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB wins landmark victory against prescription of IPOB. Police in Lagos State has arraigned a 44-year-old man, Nuruddin Disu, who allegedly stole 33 cows. The defendant, who resides at Anthony Village, Lagos State, is facing a count charge of stealing before an Ogudu magistrate's court. He, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecutor, Inspector Basi Sunday, told the court that the defendant committed the offense from 2019 to 2003 behind the Newcastle Hotel in Anthony Village. Sunday said that the defendant conspired with others to commit the stealing. He said the defendant stole 33 cows belonging to the complainant, Mr. Bushura Adebosu. The prosecutor said that the offense contravenes Section 287 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. The magistrate, Mrs. O.A. Daudu, granted the defendant bail in the sum of 2 million naira with 2 shorties in Laxam. She said one of the shorties must be a renowned Hausa leader in Lagos State, while the other must be a religious leader. Daudu adjourned the case until November 6 for trial. Ekiti State government has approved the disbursement of another tranche of car loans to the tune of 136 million naira for 368 civil servants. This was disclosed by Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development, Akin Oyebode, who confirmed the Governor Biodun Oyebanji approved the injection of 200 million naira into the loan scheme. Oyebode disclosed that the Governor also approved the payment of 174 million naira in outstanding deductions from salaries to cooperative societies and the Federal Mortgage Bank. According to him, sums ranging from 80,000 naira to 1.5 million will be disbursed to the beneficiaries of the loan scheme depending on their grade levels. Highlighting the details of the disbursement of the loan, Oyebode said 22 benefiting officers on grade levels 2 to 6 would get 80,000 naira each, while 180 beneficiaries on grade levels 7 to 10 would receive 250,000 naira each. He added that 150 workers on grade levels 12 to 14 would be given 500,000 each, 13 personnel on grade levels 15 to 17 will be awarded 750,000 each, and 3 beneficiaries on consolidated salary will take home 1.5 million naira each. The commissioners further record that the sum of 130.7 million naira was disbursed as car loans in December 2022. National Healthcare Development Agency, in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, the Bauchi Field Office on Thursday, launched the human papillomavirus vaccine against cervical cancer in Toro, local government area of Bauchi State. The UNICEF local government facilitator in Toro, Aisha Labaran, said during the launch in Toro that the vaccination is focusing on girls between the age of 9 and 14 years. She said UNICEF has sensitized religious and traditional leaders, teachers, and more than 100 schools in the area on the importance of the vaccine and the dangers of cervical cancer, hence the high level of acceptance of the vaccination campaign. HPV is a virus that's transmitted through skin-to-skin contact and can develop in anyone who is sexually active. HPV is a primary cause of cervical cancer and other cancers, including cancer of the vulva, vagina, penis, or anus, and protecting young girls before exposure to the virus can reduce incidences of the devastating disease. The UNICEF officer, who said that the 3 weeks vaccinations is targeting 48,000 girls, added that it has gained acceptance among the people. In her remarks, the Director of Primary Healthcare, Toro Local Government Area, Ramatu Ishaku, appreciated the federal government, UNICEF, and other donor agencies for making the life-saving exercise a reality. Troops of the 159 Battalion Gaydam under the Sector 2 Joint Task Force Operation Hadin Kai have ambushed and killed 6 insurgents and recovered weapons including 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 motorcycle machines and a mobile phone in a fierce firefight. This was disclosed in a statement on Thursday by the Acting Assistant Director of Army Public Relations of Sectors 2, Captain Mohammed Shehu. He said the operation was conducted on Wednesday, October 25th at Jorobo Village in Gaydam, local government area of Yobe State, after receiving tips from the locals and actionable intelligence leading to the death of 2 insurgents. In a similar operation at Babangida in Tamua, local government area of the state, Shehu said troops of the 233 Battalion killed 4 terrorists on Thursday, October 26th, and recovered arms. The military operation followed intelligence reports received on suspected terrorist presence at the Bajingo and Kunawa villages of the local government. After the firefight, Shehu said troops also recovered 2 motorcycles among other sundry items. On his part, the commander of the Sector 2 Joint Task Force, Major General Mayin Renso Saraso, commended the troops for their swift response and pledged to give them all the necessary support in restoring peace in the northeast bedeviled by the Boko Haram insurgency. Voice of Women held its 7th Conference and Awards on 25th October 2023 in Abuja with the theme Repositioning Women for Greater Impact. The wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Hajia Nana Shatima, who was represented by Dr. Salma Ibrahim Anas, said the conference was to charge repositioning Nigerian women in governance and leadership to pave the way for a greater future, adding that the success of every nation is tied to the contribution of women.
At the NAF Conference Center, Abuja, the Voice of Women marks her 7th 2023 Conference and Award with the theme Repositioning Women for Gender Impact. BOW Conference and Award is committed to a common agenda for an inclusive and accountable Nigeria to foster economic prosperity, promote political maturity, and close the gender gaps nationally.
Our mission here is to chart a course towards repositioning Nigerian women in governance and leadership, paving the way for a greater future. The success of every nation is intrinsically tied to the contributions of women. We have seen remarkable strides, but we also recognize that the work that remains are enormous. It cannot be done by few, and it cannot be done by a population standing on one leg. We have to work the talk together to achieve it. It requires together we can create a more inclusive and equitable society where the voice of every woman is not just heard, but respected and embraced, just as when we're raising our kids. When they hear the voice of the mother, it's respect. And that's why they cling to the mother. And they cling to the mother forever. Even after you send them into their homes, they still want to cling back to the mother. So please, let the voices of women be a voice of respect and a voice of dignity. In the coming days, let us engage in a thoughtful dialogue, share our insights, and collaborate on solutions that will shape the future of Nigeria. This conference is the catalyst, and a policy document that emerges from it will be our guiding light. I encourage each and everyone to actively participate, get engaged, and let's have a transparent discussions and address all the bottlenecks and the barriers and come up with solutions on the way forward. For it is through this dedication and commitment that we build foundations of a stronger and more prosperous Nigeria.
Governor of Kwara State, His Excellency Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, who also received an award for his contribution to the growth of women and girls in his state, said he has created programs to lift child education and has approved 6 months maternity leave for women.
We are keyed into different educational and sanitation programs that will encourage girl child to enroll in schools and complete their education. One of such is the Adolescent Girl Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, the Agile program, which is a World Bank sponsored program. We have similarly introduced the policy of 6 months maternity leave to encourage women. I keep saying what we have done endlessly, but the important things are where do we go from here and how do we achieve more. Now, using my turn and clout as the NTF chairman, I've told the DG of the NTF to work with the Nigeria Governors Vice Forum and Erulufayemi to work on a P4R program for results, in which states, for example, states that elect women into the legislative houses will benefit financially. We're grateful to the women. They turn up to us all the time. And our events, our elections, we can go to sleep and knowing that we're going to win our elections because we take care of our women. Not just take care of them, they take care of us and we make them responsible. Keep them responsible positions.
The chairperson of the VOW 2023 Conference Award former First Lady of Ekiti, Her Excellency RNUBC, has this to say.
In the remote rural communities is going to make the choice to marry their 15-year-old daughter off so they can afford to pay for her brother's education. And somewhere, a widow is going to be tortured because her husband just died and she is the main suspect. There are many examples of the difficult circumstances under which women live their lives on a day-to-day basis, and we are all familiar with this. Nigeria, very sadly, continues to feature poorly on most global indicators measuring gender equality and women's empowerment. The most recent Global Gender Gap Index of 2023 ranks Nigeria 130th out of 146 countries. The rest of the data is in my speech. Your Excellency, sirs, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think in summary it is safe to say that we are not doing very well as a country when it comes to the issue of gender equality and women's empowerment.
Joseph Moses, ATN News, Abuja.
Plateau State Police Command has paraded an 80-year-old man identified as Peter Asham for allegedly attempting to defile an 11-year-old girl in Jos. The command also paraded one Elijah Anthony and his mother for allegedly kidnapping and killing a 5-year-old boy, Dawan Palmer, in Bukuru, Jos South local government area of the state. The police also paraded 2 women, daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, for being in possession of 7 bags of cannabis in Bokos, an LGA of the state. Parading the suspects alongside 34 others for different crimes ranging from culpable homicide and robbery, among others. Commissioner of Police CP Okoro Alawari said the command has succeeded in putting an end to the activities of some criminal-minded individuals. Alawari said the 39 suspects paraded for the aforementioned crimes were all arrested in October. As part of measures aimed at boosting agricultural development in Niger State, Governor Mohamed Umar Bago has disclosed that the sum of 3.5 billion naira incentive has been made available to 1,000 youths. Governor Bago, who revealed this at the ongoing Green Economic Summit of the state in Mina on Wednesday, unveiled the first executive order on tree planting, urged people of the state to key into the laudable Green Economy Initiative. He reiterated the readiness of his administration to create an enabling environment for business to thrive and directed all Niger State residents to plant a tree. As a way to fast-track the initiative, Governor Bago disclosed that all local government secretariats will establish an extension colleges and nursery to be located on between 2 to 3 hectares of land within each local government where the trees will first germinate and later transfer. He also underscored the need for federal government and key institutions like Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, Tech Fund, and other stakeholders to key into the initiative as a renaissance for Nigeria to ensure sustainability of such novel initiative.
For the youth, incentives will have to come first before any other thing. So I'm also, on behalf of every local government, pledging the sum of 100 million naira each into this fund. So as a government, we have a seed money of 3.5 billion for people to enroll back into fund for sustainable future. This fund will be growing and evolving. These are not going to be loans, they are going to be grants. Again, another initiative is that in every local government we are going to establish an agri-extension school so that these extension schools will have nurseries where these plants, now 1 acre, one family has given us 1 million seeds of banana. Nobody knows how to plant banana. So all local governments should key in the local government secretariat to have extension colleges. That's where we are going to start from. And nurseries. We will clear 2 to 3 or 4 acres within the local government and establish nursery where these trees, these plants will first germinate and get a level of transfer.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, in his remarks stated that the summit provides a major milestone in our collective determination to promote sustainable development and tackle the challenges caused by climate change. Speaker Abbas was represented by the House Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Usman Kumo, who observed that the event is significant as it promotes and highlights the potentials of green technology, renewable energy projects, sustainable agriculture, and ecotourism in Niger State. To achieve this vision, according to the Speaker, a multifaceted approach that encompasses various sectors of our economy must be adopted. He therefore called for legislations that promotes green economy, education, and capacity building, among others.
The concept of a green economy is rooted in the recognition that economic growth must be pursued towards harmony and environmental sustainability. In essence, the development of today must not jeopardize the capacity of future generations to utilize the blessings of nature for their own development. A green economy emphasizes the need to decouple economic development from resources depleted and environmental degradation, aim to foster low carbon, resources efficient, and socially inclusive growth that promote the well-being of both present and future generations. In recent years, there have been global consensus on the accuracy and transition towards a green economy. The adverse impact of climate change, such as extreme weather events, weather flooding, increasing evidence, the environmental hazard not only threaten our means of source of livelihood, but it also poses green challenge to our various existence in terms of insecurity that lead the challenge required us to rethink our approach to economic development, to improve in-care solutions, to conserve natural resources, to promote sustainable livelihoods.
While noting that policymakers have a responsibility to create an enabling environment that incentivizes sustainable practices and supports green businesses, Honorable Tajudeen Abbas said Niger State is on the right trajectory in taking bold steps in doing its economy and make it more resilient, inclusive, and prosperous. Defense Headquarters has disclosed that troops have eliminated more than 100 terrorists in interdictions carried out on the border between Niger and Zamfara State. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made this known on Thursday in Abuja while giving an update on military operations across the country in the last week. Showing pictures of the Nigerian Air Force air interdictions, he said the operations also disseminated many insurgents in other parts of the country. Buba said the military in a surgical operation targeted the residents of an ISWAP terrorist commander in Niger State and made several arrests and discoveries. He also said other operations conducted last week by troops in various theaters neutralized the 73 terrorists and led to the arrest of 182 others. According to him, the troops also arrested 14 suspected oil thieves, rescued 68 hostages in the South and denied oil thieves an estimated 1.212 billion naira from the illicit business. Robbery suspect Owunna Ezechukwu and suspected kidnappers Mohammed Suleiman were on Wednesday paraded by the FCT Police Command, Garba Haruna. The Commissioner of Police explained that Ezechukwu was arrested following the distress call of a robbery at the residence of one Dayo Balogun of Zone B, Apo Resettlement. He said police operatives from the Apo Division mobilized to the scene and apprehended a suspect who, according to him, is a notorious and wanted armed robber who had broken into many homes within the Apo axis with gang members presently at large. In a related development, according to the Commissioner of Police, a suspected kidnapper's informant, Mohammed Suleiman, was arrested by his men following credible intelligence information, adding that the suspect had confessed to being an informant and food supplier to kidnappers terrorizing in Mbakwe and Biazin axis in Buari area council. He further explained that the suspect was a close associate of two wanted bandit leaders, Buga and Nasiru, for carrying out tasks for them, for which he was rewarded with cash ranging from 10,000 naira to 15,000 naira. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Welcome back to the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Here is the rest of our stories. In a significant legal development, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has dismissed the cases brought by Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party challenging Bola Tinubu's electoral victory. The verdict came with no additional cost imposed on the petitioners. The issue at hand was a challenge to the legitimacy of Bola Tinubu's victory, a matter of considerable importance in the country's political landscape. However, the Supreme Court, under the leadership of Justice Iyan Okoro, emphasized a fundamental legal principle. Supreme Court results $460,000 drug forfeiture issued in favor of Tinubu, stating it was not in Atiku's initial petition. Justice Iyan Okoro stated that election results are generally presumed to be true unless the applicants can provide compelling evidence to the contrary. This principle underscores the importance of maintaining the integrity of electoral outcomes in Nigeria. The justices went on to declare that Atiku Abubakar's appeals lacked merit, further solidifying the court's decision. The dismissal of Atiku Abubakar and the PDP's cases by the Supreme Court signifies a significant legal victory for Bola Tinubu, a prominent local political figure and former governor. It reinforces the legitimacy of his electoral success and affirms the rule of law in Nigeria. Similarly, the Supreme Court has dismissed as lacking in merit the appeal by the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, the file to nullify President Bola Tinubu's election. In a unanimous decision by a 7-member panel of justices, the Apex Court held that Obi's appeal deserved to be dismissed. In the lead judgment that was delivered by Justice Iyan Okoro, the court held that issues Obi raised in his case were already decided in a separate appeal that was filed by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. Justice Okoro noted that the only distinct issue that Obi raised in his appeal was the issue that the Vice President Kashim Shettima had double nominations from the All Progressive Congress. The court held that it had earlier decided the issue on May 26 in an appeal. Thanks for watching. I'm Vivian Daughters. You can follow us on our social media platforms. On X, we Atlantic TV Net. On Instagram and TikTok, we Atlantic TV Network 1. On Facebook and YouTube, we Atlantic Television Network. Remember that peace and unity are the pathway to progress. Have a good night.